Hey guys, it's Kevin. So I'm the go-to tech guy for my family and friends, and I get asked a lot of questions like, should I get this if I already have this? Or what's the difference between this and that? But there's two questions I get asked often. One, why don't you use a case? And two, why do you have two phones? I created a video about why I don't use phone cases, so I'll leave it in the cards and link it in the description box below. Today, I'm going to explain why I carry two phones, so let's get started. The first reason is to stay updated on the latest software. Apple and Google add new features every year to enhance the user experience. For example, in iPhone OS 3 back in 2009, Apple added cut, copy, and paste. And in iOS 5, they added Notification Center. There was also the controversial redesign in iOS 7. And for me, it's not about the big new features, but the small ones as well. In iOS 9, every little setting is searchable, and in iOS 11, you can add tables and notes and pin your favorite notes to the top for easy access. There was even synchronized lyrics and music for iOS 13. On the Android side, I used the Galaxy S2 and the Galaxy Note in 2011, which was running TouchWiz. It was so slow and clunky at the time that I stopped using Galaxy phones or any Android phone in general, until 8 years later. I tried Android again with the OnePlus 7 Pro and it was a whole new experience. Even One UI was new to me. There were new navigation bar settings, a customizable always-on display, and a color palette that matched the phone's wallpaper. Android phones can even have the entire UI change with different launchers. So having two phones helped keep me updated on what's new. Plus, I installed the beta version of both companies' next big update for an early look. The second reason is to test out different hardware. Android phones were mostly first at implementing new hardware and features. Flagship phones have large displays, 120Hz, in-display fingerprint readers, and always-on display and USB-C. Some phones can even fold in half. But Apple has been slowly adding these to the iPhone though. I like some hardware on the iPhone and others on Android phones. When holding both phones side by side, I like the iPhone's design more with the flat stainless steel rails and mute switch, but I like the darker finish on the S22 Ultra and the USB-C port. The display is nicely on the iPhone with a brighter display, accurate colors, and a flat screen. I like the hole punch selfie camera and the ultrasonic fingerprint reader. For the cameras, I prefer the quality of photos and videos that iPhone takes. I would like to have the option to adjust the ISO and focus, or use the 100x space zoom. If these two phones hooked up and made some sort of Galaxy phone S14 Pro Max Ultra, then it would be my dream phone. And the final reason is the ecosystem. I've been a Mac user for almost half my life, and since Apple makes both the hardware and software, this allows different devices to work together seamlessly. For example, with Handoff, I can edit a document on an iPhone and continue where I left off on a Mac. Or I can turn on a focus mode and it'll automatically sync across my other devices. And what's better than answering phone calls and messages right on a Mac? I know there's Samsung Flow, but it doesn't even come close. I will give some credit to Samsung though for improving their integration with Galaxy Buds Pro and SmartTag. There's some miscellaneous things I want to mention as well. I have big hands, but even with some hand gymnastics, these are more two-handed phones. On iPhone, going back is a swipe right, but I need to stretch my thumb all the way across. And interacting with the top of the screen with reachability isn't always the best. On Android, a simple swipe in on both edges can return you to the previous page, and One UI has an option to shrink the entire UI for easy access. Widgets are different on both phones as well. Starting at iOS 14, you can add widgets on the home screen, but they're not interactive. They're just glanceable information that takes you straight to the app when you tap it. Widgets on Android are interactive though. You can pause the song or skip to the next track, or you can clean up the phone's memory. I do have to admit that iPhone widgets look nicer, but Android widgets are more usable. And that's why I'm a two-phone person. Both phones have their pros and cons, and as a tech person, I think it's necessary to learn the ins and outs of the most popular tech gadgets. Maybe one day I'll go back to using one phone, but until my dream phone is born, I'll stick with two. If you enjoyed this video, then you may want to check out this one on why I don't use a case and my long-term review of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!